Hello! Welcome back to RSG Wildemount. And yeah, it is a new year. It is a new D&D stream. We're just going to have some relaxing fun today. We're going to be kind of catching up with some of the characters. I'm going to be making notes. We'll summarize a little bit of what happened like 2.5 months ago in real time, not game time. Because game time, we've advanced like a year. So today is going to be a little bit of a catch-up stream, and we'll kind of go through all the characters, and if you guys have questions in chat, feel free to post that. Again, casual D&D stream today for anyone that has questions and that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and introduce those that are here, and we'll probably have the others joining here in a little bit. First off, we have Mr. Johnny.
Hi.
And
I'm playing as Reed Tea Leaf.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to do the
Assassin.
accent or anything today because we're not role-playing, so he's taking
I can if you want. The Harasti yet, but...
And then we have Mr. Grumpy himself, Corinth.
Getting out of here.
Oh my god, Twitch is loading slow.
Mm-hmm. And then we have playing drum, Ouchie. Ouchie's gone silent.
I'll just answer for Ouchie too.
I hit the wrong button on my headset.
Say hi, Ouchie.
Hi.
There you go.
I took a nap and I just woke up. So I'm very sleepy.
There you go. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny
Yay.
subbing, says yay, Ouchie, and then subbed 31 months. Thank you, Johnny.
I try.
Okay, so let's give you guys a little bit of an update on what happened last time. We're basically on the last episode before a plot time skip. Prior to that, they had gone looking for Critty, who basically they got signs of that was effectively kidnapped. They chased her down as much as possible. They lost... Thank you, Corinth. Corinth also subbing 34 months. Thank you, Mr. Corinth.
You got me beat, buddy.
I know. I didn't want to do it when I saw that, but I was like, oh, well.
I appreciate it from both of you, though. So
Our accounts combined are like an old toddler.
Oh, my God. I missed you guys, I have to say. I missed D&D. I missed all this
I've missed
stuff.
everyone.
Yes.
So they went chasing her down, largely because they learned that the book that they had found in the dragon's lair that she had acquired actually belonged to Ellie's mother. It was her spell book. And so... How did I get the sponge in there? Thank you, Ouchie. I need to work on getting the alerts to go through the microphone. I think I know how. I think I've learned how to do it, but I need to adjust it. But thank you, Ouchie. So, they chased her down, and unfortunately, they did not get Critty. However, in a bush, somehow it seems to have fallen out of her backpack, which was also, I believe, in range, and they managed to recover some of Critty's possessions. They also managed to find said spellbook. And they had given it to Elione, and they were at a loss of what to do because they weren't sure where Critty had gone. And so they had decided to return to Kegheim and work on building Kegheim once again. And that is where we are doing kind of our 1-year time skip. So what this session will be is kind of a character catch up and give the DM a little bit of time to catch up on everyone and give them the things that would fit with their character. So one thing I think they've all done is level up their character. So everyone did get a level at the end of the last session. And in addition to that, they were also figuring out a few things, basically what they wanted to do during that year. both from I should say from a Kegheim perspective, from a kind of a role play perspective, and the role play perspective can be both for what they're doing currently, what they want from their backstory, if they want to enhance themselves in combat, whatever it is to give me as much detail about what they want their characters to have been doing over the past year. And based on that, I'll provide them their bonuses and stuff like that on things they've accumulated over that year. And next weekend will be our first like session back after the year. So this is kind of like a catch up, and if anyone there has any questions or anything like that, feel free to throw them into the chat and we'll answer those. But until then, we'll kind of just do a character catch up here for everyone. So, knowing that I had received a lot of information from Mr. Johnny, we'll start with Johnny. So what I'll ask is everyone to kind of say what they want to do from a Kegheim perspective, then everything they want to do from an RP perspective, and you can break it down to backstory, current story, combat related, whatever it is, just let me know. And if there's anything you want to do in secrecy, that you can send me in a DM. And then we can kind of go with that. And keep in mind, though, you're with the same people in Kegheim for a year. So depending on what you want to do in secrecy, it may or may not be as secret as you think, depending on what you're trying to do. And yeah, based on all that, I'll tell you guys kind of what your character is getting from a character sheet perspective, items, feats, whatever it is. And I'm going to continue to make notes on everything. So, Mr. Johnny, if you want to start, we'll start with Kegheim, because I want to keep all the Kegheim stuff separate from your character stuff. So,
Okay. As far as with Kegheim, King Dwendal had promised to try and send recruits to me.
Yep.
For the Vakar in Idurin.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mouthful. Why did I pick something so wordy? I need a paper clip. I don't know where I have paper clips. Okay. So, depending on how many recruits he is able to send, obviously I think Reed would spend a tremendous amount of time setting forth essentially like a training manual and then teaching them what he would expect out of them. And just setting up that whole organization to really mirror like an idealized version of the Volstalkers.
Okay.
They'd be based out of Kegheim, and probably like the closest I can really verbalize how they would probably work. The way that the Rangers on Babylon 5 worked. If you watch that, I think your nerd credit's high enough that you've probably seen that. So that's sort of a thing where they very much are plowing out into the darkness, looking to head off threats before they become threats. So I think that would eat up a fair amount of his time. As he would send them out, he would also give them two fairly specific tasks. He would want them looking to see who this Igjula orc is, and also checking up on the activities of the Jaganov family in the far north. Reed then also, with his new position of the Hand of the King, I was thinking maybe we could call it like the Beard of the King.
That is up to the king.
Since it's like a dwarven city. Since I'll be the new defunct Tyrion Lannister, essentially. I figured that one of the things that he'll figure out is that there probably should be at least one person in Kegheim that can talk to people in a halfway diplomatic fashion. So you would see him constantly walking around with books like, how to influence people and gain friends without killing them, things like that. Really trying to work on not only his own patience for talking to people, but being able to converse with people in such a way where he can make a more persuasive conversation with them rather than just drawing a sword on them.
Right.
So I mean, those are really two of the big things. And then on top of that, just with any responsibilities that he would have gathered as the hand of the king, I would imagine that would also entail Reed and Hadlin very much discussing ways to get, new quality citizens into the city, crafters, miners, setting up trade agreements, things like that. So that would all sort of roll in together with learning to talk nicely to people,
Okay. All right. So that's, I guess, all your Kegheim, but also one of your that kind of mixes in with your backstory and other things you want to do. Is there anything else you want to do unrelated to Kegheim?
I mean, certainly just making sure that Pumat's assistant, Pumat, is set up nicely. Making sure that knowing that Pumat and his business will be a very good thing into there, trying to set it up to make sure he's got a good shop set up where he's comfortable, he doesn't have to worry about anything. And I think that Reed at this point very much feels that improving the quality of life in Kegheim, improving the quality of life for his friends, certainly goes a long way. He probably would have ventured back to his farm to see how well it was rebuilt. When he originally left the farm to go and kill the Jagonoffs, he had left his worker there like a year and a half ago now. Somewhere I've got that dude's name written down. Hilnick, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, that guy. Some dwarfen guy that, and basically just Prado. Right. Yes. Yeah. Look at you knowing my backstory better.
Because I have notes about all this.
So do I somewhere, but
your backstory was actually fairly detailed, so I have a little bit of stuff on yours. So
okay. So yeah, I had tried to. My computer for some reason is being slow, so I couldn't really pull it up too easily.
Let me just double check that it's Prado.
That sounds right, because it would have been like a weird.
Actually, no. Prado was bad. That is not one that you would want.
Let
me see. Where's the listing of who you had left? I have to double check. Actually, I don't think I have his name listed. Yeah, I don't have his name listed here. Weird. I thought I had him as part of... I had notes about him. I have to find my other note sheet.
Yeah, I'm on like page 4 on my backstory here.
Okay, so we can go into that a little bit here. Let me ask you, when you go to your farm, do you bring any of the party with you, or do you go alone?
If anybody wanted to go. I mean, I wouldn't have made it a private deal that I was going. I would have said, anybody who would want to go, I'd certainly Thordir.
Okay.
Thordir Craghammer.
Yes. Got it.
So, I mean, I would go back, I would give him some money, make sure that the farm is built up, basically have him taking care of it.
Would any of you like to go? Let me ask there first before I keep pushing forward, because I want to make sure I have details before I give you some information, because that's all stuff that would have happened in the year. Hello, the Durgan, by the way.
Hey, Durgan.
So I know we have Ouchie and Corinth here. Would either of you venture with Reed when he goes to his farm, or would you stay and tend to other things? There's no right or wrong. I just want to know who's with him.
I'll go. Yeah, since I'm conveniently on the call.
I'll go. Why not?
Yay! Road trip.
Okay. Is there anyone else that you would be taking along with you? I guess is
I mean, I would imagine Drom would probably tag along.
You're
I
in the
mean,
game, right? Reed?
yeah.
You're in the okay. Do me a favor. Let's go back a little bit and I'll give you some numbers. Roll 2 D100s for me.
42 and an 89.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. You managed to get 66 recruits from King Dwindle.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So giving you that one for that. Then okay, and then they've undergone training. I want to give you some. Okay, roll a d20 for me. Let's see how your first d20 roll is coming back.
A 4.
Okay. And then roll a history check for me.
21.
Okay. So I'll give you a question just to see. What are you doing with Reynard during this time?
Well, he would have come to Kegheim with us. He's enormous to be a lap puppy, so that's not happening. But he would, every day I would certainly walk around the city, taking note of anything that needs to be done. He would accompany me on that. I very much Reed wouldn't want to put him in harm's way, so allowing him to almost serve as like a retirement guard dog for Reed as he walks around the city, knowing he really doesn't need a guard dog, but it also allows him to start training all of those recruits with, if they do choose to find a pet or a familiar, if any of them are more magic based, how to interact, use them as a training aid in that sense where, if you are fighting with an animal, this is how you do it, things like that. But, in general, he would be a fairly spoiled war dog at this point.
Okay. And would he accompany you to, like when you go
To the
on
farm?
these, or would he remain at Kegheim?
I would take him to the farm. I think if I go out on missions on my own or anything, I would leave him there. But, I would certainly, to the farm, I would bring him.
Okay. Roll another d20 for me.
11.
Okay, and then roll a d8.
5.
Damn it, you're like just on the cusp of each of these.
Ugh. I could roll with advantage.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about what to.
Mm-hmm. thinking about.
Okay, I'm gonna be nice. So during this year, as you've been, this was one of the fun things I wanted to give your character. So part of me just wants to give it anyways.
Okay.
So as you were kind of with Renaud, and he's become a kind of a known presence around Kegheim. And Hadlin, you've seen him as well. He's on the older side, but definitely giving everyone kind of company, and he's helped morale a little bit. But Reed, you kind of becoming closer to Renaud as he's been kind of like following you around and aging and stuff like that. You begin noticing something odd about him. It's hard to describe it better than with your keen eyesight and your perception as a rogue. You begin to notice that as he's walking around lately, and this is sometime early in the year, you begin noticing that it almost seems like he's exuding smoke, like a very like thin layer of smoke. At times you think it's just blur, but then you look closer and you're fairly sure as time goes on that it just seems like it's smoke. As the time progresses, others don't notice it, and some that seem like they may just kind of shrug it off because they're just like, oh, maybe they're just seeing something. But you're around him too much to not notice it as much.
Oh, Reed, it's just my pipe.
Quit smoking around me, dog.
One night during the year time frame, again early on, maybe around month 3 or so, you wake up to where Renaud typically sleeps near your bed, because he'll probably be near you, right? And he is not there. What remains in his spot is a pile of ash. Roll an investigation check for me.
$24.
So you wake up to this pile of ash, confused, not having smelt any like real smoke or anything like that, just the same kind of musty, slightly smoky odor that you've always smelled from Renaud, nothing extra. But what remains in his spot is ash. You look around, you don't see traces of the ash going anywhere else, just a pile where he slept. And as you go to kind of collect the ash, pay respects to Renaud, you slowly start to scoop them into kind of an urn. And you notice a very, very faint ember amongst all of the ash. What do you do?
I would probably go over and grab a piece of paper and probably like a metal tray. I would try to gently coax that ember onto the paper, put it on the tray, and see if I could very lightly blow it maybe into a small flame to see if anything happens with that.
Okay. As you use the paper, you notice that the paper starts to like burn a little bit. So it becomes difficult to move the ember with the paper itself.
And just as a side thing, it would be one of the sheets of paper I got at the very beginning, where it's the wizard quality paper.
Oh, okay, not just a regular sheet of paper. I got you. So
Yeah.
it's a magical paper. Okay. It starts to singe a little bit, but it doesn't burn, and you are able to move the ember onto the magical tray.
Okay.
Or onto the regular tray. And roll a dexterity check to basically blow on this ember to try and feed it and not blow it off the tray. Basically, what you're trying to do.
14. Really?
Yes, that's good enough.
Okay. I was like, I'm better than that.
Well, Dex is hard. It's once you get into the skills, right, that you get.
Yeah.
Good. But yeah, you lightly blow on the ember. The ember moves a little bit, still remains onto the tray, and it begins to expand. You notice as you continue blowing, though, it stops at a certain point, and it's about the size of a human's hand. So bigger than your hand, but about the size of like a human hand. You look closer, and what you actually see is a very small puppy encased in fire. And it opens its eyes and looks at you. It's very familiar eyes. The eyes remind you of Reynard. Roll an Arcana check for me.
Natural 20.
You rolled it at a good time.
Is there a bad time to roll a natural 20?
Nice.
Actually, there are times where you don't want to know things and you know it anyways. So yes. But in this case, you look at the ember and you kind of stick your hand out, and the puppy goes onto your hand. Fairly heavy though, because again, it's bigger than your hand, so you're kind of like holding it up with both of your hands. And you, even though not trained in magic formally, but having a background in magic, have only heard of this creature kind of in myth. It is a firehound puppy. It is a variant of a hellhound that possesses no evil associated with it. It is simply a neutral fiend firehound. And you know that as they grow into kind of their prime adult age, their fire kind of grows, and as they reach towards the end of their life, the fire kind of extinguishes. And as the flame kind of goes away, that is when they begin to die. But this creature is, for all intents and purposes, the equivalent of a phoenix, but in a dog form.
Oh, awesome.
So you now have a baby firehound, a puppy firehound.
That's awesome.
I've wanted to give that to you ever since Blinky.
Yeah, very cool.
We'll talk about the stats and everything, but it will progress with you to some extent as it goes along with you. To
Awesome.
whatever extent. You can leave it in Kegheim and have it be trained. You can bring it with you. I mean, I'll leave it to you how you want to handle your new form of Reynard, but Reynard is now a fully fire-vested puppy firehound.
Oh, awesome. That is very cool.
So there you go.
Very cool. Thank you.
Okay. Then
I will name you Blinky 2.
luckily, this one already has a name.
Oh, thank God. What is it?
Reynard.
Oh, okay.
It's still
Even better.
Reynard. It's like the equivalent
Oh,
of a
he's just
phoenix.
reincarnated.
He's
Okay.
reincarnated. Exactly. It's the dog equivalent of a phoenix.
Very cool.
Okay. When you go to your farm,
Mhm.
You see, what was your assistant's name again? Sorry, I'm just making up. Started with a T. I forgot
Thordeer,
Thordeer.
Kragenhammer.
Okay. Okay. You go to your farm, and your farm looks not fruitful. Your main building, where like the quarters are, is still intact. However, you notice that there is an area beginning about 10 yards away from the house that appears to be scorched. And all the scorching is done in a direction away from the house. And you go in to see Thordeer, and he is extremely frightened. When you open the door, he's kind of pointing a spear at you, but then sees you and proceeds to drop it. Oh my God, Jurgen. So, he basically tells you the story of what happened, and in the past few months, the Jagantoth family has occasionally dropped by. He's been trying to keep your farm going, and in fear of everything that had happened in the past, he had paid them. Small sums, but each time proceeding to ask for more and more. But he was making the farm profitable for you. Rabbits and other vegetables and everything were growing. But it came to a point that it became too steep, and they beat him mercilessly, but not to the point that he was dead. They wanted him to produce more money. The next time they came, as they were approaching, all he saw was fire erupt from the outer edge of your farm and push back and burn some of the Jagantoth as they approached. And he then ran into the building and would only leave to grab some vegetables and some water from the well in order to survive. His time outside has been minimal for the past 6 months. And you can tell he is visibly frightened as you all come in. Not of you, but just in general, visible fear.
I'd like to take claim for sitting defenses like that. That's beyond me. It's the scorched area of earth where the fire came from, Thordeer.
Yes.
All right. Obviously, I'll have Renaud with me.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie had come along as well.
And Hadlin are with you.
And Hadlin as well. And are we saying Drom or?
For now, we'll say no. We'll just say it's the group that's here.
I'll look at the two of them. I'll say, you want to come and inspect that area with me? Let's see if maybe there's some sort of magic effect left over.
I'll save you guys time because it's been like a year. This also happened like 6 months prior to when you're visiting. You notice some scorch remains, but other than that, there's no magic kind of left. Any evidence at this point has gone, basically. Based on the scorch marks and how it fades as it goes farther away, you are sure that it started close and went farther away. And it looks a bit like a semicircle, basically, around the house. And pushes them away in kind of a, I don't know. If you have like your house in the middle, think of a semicircle going from north clockwise south, and all the flames kind of push east.
So if the house is this, the flames go like this?
No.
Or do they go like this?
That way. Around the house.
Second one.
Yeah.
Around the house, protecting the house.
Correct.
Okay.
So the house becomes like the center of the semicircle, and all the flames push east.
That's the only time it's happened, that one time.
He doesn't know if it's ever happened again because he has been scared to go outside. He has been living inside as much as possible for the last 6 months, only on the veggies that are still growing on the opposite side of the farm and the well. That's it. He does not want to be outside.
No, I don't blame him. You had said there were still some remains of the Jagganoffs burnt
There's
up?
like charred bones. That's all you can see.
All right, so it's not like I could dig through a saddlebag or... Have they been back since that happened?
If they have, he does not know. He has not answered the door. He has not gone outside, minus the veggie and the thing, and he tries to do that as quickly as possible without being seen. And so he does not know. Oh my god, Durgan.
What are you writing?
He's having fun with the Jagganoff name.
Well, you know, they're a lonely bunch.
Yeah.
All right, how much protection money had he given them?
Over the course of like 4 or 5 months, he's given about like 1,200 gold.
On average, when they would come, how many of them would arrive?
At the beginning, it was 3, but prior to the fire, there were 10 that showed up. And then when he thinks, because he couldn't count quickly enough, but the time that they approached with the fire, he thought he saw about 20. He doesn't know how many of them burned or how many of them kind of just got singed and ran away, how many of them got away scot-free. He just knows some of them got caught in the fire. But he doesn't know any other numbers other than he thought he saw about 20 coming that time.
And I can't detect anything. Like, I'll flip the eye patch up. I'll look at the scorched area. I want to see if this is an incantation or something.
Anything that maybe you could have used for evidence is long gone now.
All right. I was almost hoping it might have been like a defensive ward that somebody had put there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it look like almost symmetrical, like really perfect, or does it look like someone lit it by themselves or with gas or something? Does it look like it could have been manual, or does it look kind of spellish automatic?
Interesting question. Both of you can roll investigation with advantage.
Nice. So
Nicely
28.
done. You both, Ross, you rolled really well.
You
Hadlin
can
didn't
actually
even
roll
roll
again,
his-
Hadlin.
Yeah, you have another one if you want, Hadlin. But your first one's actually pretty good.
I keep trying
we'll
to
go with
click it
the first
again, but
one.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe it'll.
There you
It's,
go.
I think like 4 are going to show up here soon.
It's okay.
Oh,
We
they're
got your
there.
second, so we'll go with that. So you both are able to notice something very. It's not something you would have noticed unless you looked extremely hard. So if you remember when I mentioned the semicircle was kind of like centered around the house, you look a little bit more. The center of the semicircle, which almost seems like a perfect semicircle, does not seem actually centered towards the house. It actually seems centered about 1 yard away from the house, in the same direction as the flames were moving. So if you had the house here, the center is over here, and then the semicircle goes around that point. So
almost like you walk out the front door and like a yard in front of the front door, that's where
the center is almost, yeah. And so as you look a little bit more, both of you can roll an Arcana check. Okay.
19.
Hadlin, you just think this is suspicious based on your investigation, but it's hard to pinpoint. Reed, as you look a little bit more, you begin to think that there was someone here that was the center of this semicircle actively protecting at that moment.
I'll walk into the house. The authority, I'm assuming, there's a fire going in the hearth, right?
Yes.
I will sit down, I'll pull out a piece of paper. I'll write a letter to the twins. Just asking how they're doing and asking if they've stopped by my farm anytime in the last couple of months. I will toss that into the fire, send that message to them.
Okay.
And then I'll go over to what was my father's chair I'd rebuilt by the hearth, and I will sit down in it. Out of my pack, I will pull out again just a sort of small little figurine I've been whittling of rather poorly carved dwarven miner with a wheelbarrow. And I'll pull out a dagger and I'll continue working on it. And as I am, I'll be sort of muttering to myself, Moradin, if you care to listen, was there somebody sent to protect this house? And I'll more be trying to run it through my own head if I know anybody that would have, 1, known where the farm was, and 2, have cared to protect it.
Roll a D100 for me.
42, the answer to everything.
Okay, you continue whittling, but that's pretty much it at this time.
Okay, would I know of anybody in the area that would have been able to do something like that?
I mean, outside of Balin, I don't think you know anybody else that's really played around with fire that much.
And it's pretty obvious this wasn't Balin.
He was with you 6 months ago, so.
Yeah, so this couldn't have been him.
Mm-mm.
I mean, unless he really worked on those stealth skills and running fast at night. But, huh.
Why does it have to be a person?
Who else do you think it could be?
Couldn't it be a thing too, or creature?
Well, I suppose, but I mean, other than Ronald here, I'm not
Yeah,
overly friendly with too many critters.
No fire like creatures that are hanging around your house.
I suppose it's possible, but
Okay. Seems awfully suspicious here.
yeah, it's definitely odd. And I mean, obviously, we're not just going on a day trip. I mean, we'd be staying there a couple of days.
Yeah, we're kind of quick doing time lapse
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
over that year. So this is kind of your trip back to the farm.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'd be there at least a week. Every night I would, sort of sit up at night for a while, just watching that area, seeing if anything happens.
Yeah, it's actually been fairly quiet while you're there.
All right. I would give Thordir some money. I would tell him, look, hire on some extra help, get the farm up and running again, hire a few armed people if you need. And I will, over the course of that week, teach him how to be able to do that paper fire trick that the Volstalkers do, to be able to communicate me very rapidly if he needs.
Interesting. I have to look at that because I don't know if that's something easily taught outside of the Volstruckers. But let me look really quick.
Okay. I mean, it really doesn't give a whole lot of explanation.
Yeah, I know. But it's kind of like I guess you're not really part of them anymore, but it's a little bit of their kind of like secret technique, right? So
In theory, they don't exist anymore.
Exactly. This
So
is
it's
true.
like, I'm sort of stealing it and using it for my own,
Yeah.
So worded a little bit different. You teach them breeds technique.
Yeah. Make them a reed stalker. Because that doesn't sound sinister.
Okay, let's see if you can do. Let me see what would be. We'll start with an Arcana check to see if you're able to give him at least the magical knowledge required to do this.
Someday I'm going to be smart and get proficiency in Arcana. A 20.
Okay, so you do have kind of the magical know-how to be able to do that. And then, let me see, hold on, give me 1 second. Let's go with an intelligence check to see your teaching ability. Okay.
19?
You are able to teach him how to do the Volstrucker, but only to send messages to you.
And he can receive if I send to him.
He is not able to receive.
So he can only send, like,
He can
please send
only
help.
send to you if there's help.
Okay. Okay.
It's designed to be a way to communicate with other agents, but he's not an agent himself, so he doesn't have the capacity to receive it at the moment.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll walk over to Ellie and I'll ask her if there's any way, like, if she would be able to teleport here quickly if needed.
Is there a way to teleport there quickly if needed?
Yes, it requires time. You could
So that's
have
not quickly then.
Well, it would require a year of somebody creating a teleportation circle in this location so that you could use a teleportation circle to get here.
Right. So that's like the opposite of quickly.
Well, you could get here quickly. It just takes some time to be able to get here quickly.
So Ellie, roll an Arcana check to see if you can teach my idiot groundskeeper how to do a teleportation circle every day.
He does not have magic capacity.
Yeah.
That would be the quickest way. Now, at a higher level, just a standard teleportation could work, but that's a high level spell to get here quickly.
Is that a spell that Ellie would have access to if needed?
I believe she has access to it now after leveling. I don't
Is
know
it
if
in
she
her-
took it, but
Is it in her mom's spell book by chance?
actually, that's a good point. Finishing her mom's spell book is on my list of things to do.
You like my new fishing line here, Reed? Pretty nice.
That's nice. There's a little river goes through. There's always been trout in that.
Yeah, I used to talk about that, so that's
Yeah.
that's totally where I was going with this.
Yeah, we'll go on down. We'll go fishing in a little bit.
Can I drink?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh. Balls.
Let me see here really quick. I want to say that spell is not in her spell book, but I have to look at the spell list really quick that I was...
Ellie's
Starting
mom
it.
is like a level 50 wizard.
Actually, she would have all the spells in her spell book anyway, so yeah. She would have all the spells, she just may not train it every day.
Yeah. So
Let me just double check really quick, though.
okay.
Because I know she has specific spells that I wanted her to have. I just need to see what are the spells at that level.
I mean, worst case scenario, that would be a spell if, for this reason alone, I wouldn't mind seeing if I could even buy a scroll for her
Yeah,
to
so
be able
she
to
can...
learn it.
Isn't there might even be something, might be more constrained too, that I think that Drom could do, right?
Mm,
Does he have plane shift or something like that? Maybe.
well,
Yeah,
plane
there would
shift
at least
is less
there'd at least be
accurate.
there'd at least be something he could do. You know, they could get us there fast. Like he can conjure a celestial that would have the power to do something similar.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, I know I had found the spell storing ring in Critty's backpack. I don't remember if I gave it anybody or if I still had it.
But teleport is going to be a 7th level spell, so it's not...
Yeah,
So it
that'd
wouldn't
be
even
too
fit
much.
into it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
eventually we'll have to figure out who to give that to
teleportation,
anyway.
or the teleport spell would be a placeholder to get here quickly until hopefully somebody can keep a teleportation circle here.
By any chance, any of the 66 recruits that were sent to us a wizard?
Those 66 are not.
Okay.
Those are more kind of grunts that King Dwendal was able to spare to train them more as assassins rather than kind of the magic side of things. However, Hadlin, roll 2 d20s roll 2 d100s for me.
I do feel the need to remind everyone that I roll really low given past examples, but I'm sure this will be different. All right, there you go.
That's 2 good ones.
And now roll a d20 for me.
Okay, it's either awesome or horrible.
I is here to remind you.
Why Hadlin?
Hey, I'm going to use my daily indomitable to re-roll that.
Okay, I will let you.
Yes.
Your session indomitable, I will let you roll that since we're doing like a year gap.
Can I assist him?
No, but at least a 5 is better. You are able to get one person of a higher level that is able to cast 5th level spells. So if you want to have that person go from Kegheim to your farm to do that, under King Hadlin's orders, they would be able to do that.
I don't know. Seems like something the hand of the king and the first agent would have to answer. If he could spare the resources and stuff like that. I already started drinking.
I would.
Oh my god.
I would certainly make that request of the king.
Or do I need to sign something? I'm sure I had to sign a lot of things.
I had a stamp made up.
Smart.
That's why you made me the hand.
And the
So
signature. Okay.
I'll stamp the thing. I'll notarize it myself. I paid the 5 gold to get the notary license, and I'll have Fred, the wizard, come and install a teleportation circle in my living room of my farm.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. It kind of helps Kegheim to start set up like a network, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it also puts it like right in the middle of that valley in between 2 big cities.
Yep. Okay. So you are able to get the guy to come, and he is now working at your hut to make it a teleportation circle for Reed's farm. Now, the attack happened about 6 months ago from when you got there. You got there about week or month 3 or so. So when we start up a year later, about 9 months of casting has been done. So there's still about 3 months left. So
Okay.
at the time that we start, there's still a little bit of time before you can use the teleportation circles. So if you need to get back quickly, you would need to use teleport.
Okay, that's still awesome as can be. Wow.
And then towards the end of that week that you're there, you do get a message back from the twins saying they have not been to your farm lately.
Okay.
Reed, the king has a request. I already, I've been drinking and I already thought of something.
Whatever you need.
Maybe you could start growing some wheats or some oats or some barley or something.
Well, there had been a barley field on the western side of the farm for years.
Oh my god, we're gonna turn into Wildemount moonshiners.
I think we might need to increase the production of that crop.
Well, there's also a big potato field as well.
Maybe just increase
My
the production
apologies.
of all the crops. Kegheim's hungry, so might as well be a big farm land here. I'm sure we could hire some more people and kick the people's asses that were messing with you and just make it a cool thing.
As the king orders. And what I'll do then is I will order for 6 of the new Volstacker recruits to be stationed there at the farm. And also I will send 15 farmhands from Kegheim if we can. Do we have
So the number that Hadlin rolled,
worker people?
Yeah, so the number Hadlin rolled, you guys got 58 kind of other random assortment of people, different skillsmen and stuff like that. So if you want 15 of them to be farmhands, they will do so.
Okay, I will send 15 farmhands.
Let me make a note of those numbers though, because we got to make sure we keep track. So Hadlin,
And there might even be people in the area that we could supplement it with that we could hire too. So because we didn't have access to this place necessarily.
this is true.
Resources.
Okay. So yes, you could get 15 of those 58 to be kind of farmhands and help with the farm, and then you could work on kind of a recruitment drive if you wanted to try and get more people to work there. Although the area that Reed works in is fairly secluded for that purposes. It's kind of away from Hupperduke and away from Zadash. But it's possible you could recruit people.
Yeah, because then you figure by the time the crops are harvested once and, everything is up and growing, the teleportation circle should be done.
Yeah, it'll be about a year or so. Yeah.
So this will be a good way to be able to start bringing crops and everything into Kegheim easily.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great because that really sets up a big supply chain for food.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I'll also do is I'll have a few of them sort of dig out an inlet from the river that runs through the property to kind of make a large pond. See if we can boost up the trout that are always in that river. So we can also have fish.
Okay. So you're basically trying to create like a trapping pond, basically. So they go over
Yeah.
there and then they get okay. Yeah. That's
Very
easy enough to do.
cool.
Okay. Anything else at the farm?
There'll have to be a fence post somewhere near where the ash was, where the Jagonoffs were killed. I'll post a note on it. I'll make sure I write it out in magic paper. This way, it's not weathered too easily.
Mhm.
Essentially, I'll just write a note to whomever had assisted my man here at the farm against the outsiders. I'm in your debt. Please feel free to contact me. I would like to be able to thank you in person. Read tea leaf, hand of the king of the Imperial Empire of Keikheim.
Okay. You have post-it set sign on a post.
Got my own little stamp that I seal it with.
Okay. So that was kind of Reed's trip to the farm, accompanied with Ellie and Hadlin. Now, let's also do this. Roll another d20 for me, Reed.
$14.
Okay. As your mini feat, you can pick 3 of your charisma-based feats to be at advantage permanently.
You mean charisma-based skills or?
Sure, skills. Yes, sorry. Charisma-based
Okay.
skills will be at advantage.
Huh. Trying to see which ones are charisma-based. Persuasion will have to be one. We'll go for deception and intimidation.
Okay. There you go.
Awesome. Is that something you can put in there where it'll automatically
I'll have
do
to
it?
create the feat so it'll do that. But yes.
Okay. Awesome. The deception. And the deception one should actually be ridiculous because I am proficient with that one actually.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Now, I think that covers all of your stuff, right, Reed?
Yeah, I added the bracers
Mm-hmm.
to my item list.
I need to get back to you about the bow.
Yeah. So that's no problem. But the bracers were already paid for, so I
Correct.
figure over the course of the year I could just go and pick them
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
So I've got them. I equipped them, I think, already, right? Yep.
Okay.
So I should be good, I think.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now, Mr. Corinth, I'm reading up on your stuff. Give me a minute here.
All right. I'll be back in a minute or two.
Okay. Corinth, is any of this secret, or let me just, I'm good just going through it. I didn't hear what you said if you said something, Corinth. Did Corinth step away? Okay. Hold on. Let me go through these then.
It's just detailing Corinth, not Corinth, of course.
Hadlin drunk.
Hadelin's descent into turning into a Robert Baratheon kind of character.
Oh my god.
Just drinking and
Well,
you know.
while I read Hadlin's stuff, Ellie, do you have an idea of what you wanted to do for Kegheim? I think you were building a library, right?
I want to, yes, work on, I guess, doing the library / Cobalt Soul
Okay.
sort of kiosk.
Yes.
Kiosk.
Yes.
Satellite shop.
Satellite station. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, working on that. Getting that together.
Okay.
And
Okay. I think for Kegheim, you're able to do that pretty easily. And then from an RP perspective, things you want to do for your background, things you want to do right now, anything you want to do for your character.
I want to be able to use my sword.
Okay.
And yeah, whatever I need, figuring out what I need to do to be properly attuned to it or whatever. So that whenever we fight sometime, maybe I can use it and just, really F people up with it. That's
Got
really
it.
what I want.
Okay. So, I had something planned for you.
And I'm still pretty sleepy. I've just been struggling with sleep a lot the past few days, and I tried to take a nap, and I don't think it helped at all. Might have just made it worse. So speak slowly, and you be prepared to repeat yourself.
Understood. Okay. So, I'll have to create the feat in D&D Beyond, but if you want to make note of what you are able to do.
Okay.
During this time, you begin going through your mom's spellbook. And you get... Knowing your mom, you notice some oddities within the spellbook itself.
Like pages missing or stuff written in the margins?
The way that she writes.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be consistent with the way that you know her to write. However, it does seem like her. So you spend a good portion of your time trying to decipher this sword, but then also trying to understand what's going on with this book. And as you continue to read further and further, you begin to learn that there are things ciphered inside of the spellbook.
So are they scribbled, or is it like the cool thing where, it's like somehow hidden by the way the text is written? Okay.
It's like hidden within the text. You're noticing the oddities of the things that she was writing. And as you begin to read a little bit more, it starts to make a little more sense to you. And this sword that you have is a weapon crafted by her and your father, right, in their legacy, basically. It's a legacy sword, but it's been enhanced by both of your parents.
Mm-hmm.
It has been given the name of the Dancing Moon Sword.
Okay.
Now, the Dancing Moon Sword has a property, first off, that rolling a 19 or a 20 is a critical hit. And I'll create this in D&D Beyond, but I'll just kind of give you some of the details.
Does it also have the property of being sharp? Just first, is it sharp?
Yes, it is. It is sharp. It is not a blunted sword. It is a sharp sword.
All right. Sharp sword. Sharp sword.
Sharp sword. In addition, while you use this weapon... By the way, hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Yes, it has been a while since we played D&D. We're kind of doing a character catch-up. It's not like a full play session this time. That we'll hopefully do next week. So
Character ketchup and mustard.
it's true. So, while you have this weapon,
While I'm wielding it?
Basically while you're wielding it and you're attacking it. You have part of the slasher feat. So the first thing is once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals slashing damage, which is dealt by your Dancing Moon Sword,
Mm-hmm.
you can reduce the speed of the target by 10 feet until the start of your next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second is when you score a critical hit, you wound it, and the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls until your next turn. Until the start of your next turn.
Cool.
Okay? In addition, as you go through this, that is just the properties that you have learned, right? But you notice that there are... Oh, by the way, it's a +2 longsword.
Mm-hmm.
And what you learn is that the true power of this sword comes by the dance that you do prior to an attack.
Okay.
So with particular dances that you do, you will need to do a performance check. And if you make the performance check, you get the bonus of that dance as part of your attack.
So like the Macarena could be,
Pretty much. So you're trying to figure out all the different dances associated with this. So far, you have ciphered one dance, and it's a DC 10 performance check, and it's called the True Strike Dance. As you go to do your attack, as you move around to do your attack on this, you will automatically gain True Strike on the attack that you are about to land.
Okay, makes sense.
And so True Strike gives you advantage on your attack. Now, you don't get any additional attacks. It becomes a single attack with advantage at the same time if you do this dance. I believe you have 2 attacks, right?
With
should.
Yeah, you get 2 attacks. So with this, you only get 1, but you get 1 at advantage if you do the dance.
Okay.
And you can tell that there are more but it's taken you quite a while to decipher that there's things hidden, figure out the properties of the sword, and then unlock this dance during that year.
Nice.
And then over time, you can continue to unlock more dances as you read the book.
Or maybe sometimes I might just try to do some kind of crazy dance
Correct. If you want to, you can try to do
and then see
your
what that
own.
does.
Actually, yes.
Ellie's blazing twerk of death.
Oh my god. So there you go.
Nice. I don't think I have actually leveled up, so
Yeah,
I need to do that too.
That's fine.
What am I supposed to be now?
14.
Um,
You know, I'll give you the mini version of the slash mastery feat.
okay. Yeah, I'm still only level 13.
Okay. And I think Corinth is here now, right?
You should be.
I can't
Yep.
hear. Oh, there we are. Okay. Is there anything about the stuff you sent me, Corinth, that's secret? Like anything you're doing privately, or can I just read these out loud instead of just reading them in my head and trying to figure out responses?
Yeah, I mean,
Just let
as
me
long
know.
as
I
you,
don't
as
mind
long
doing
as
things
you,
in
as
private.
long as you at least read them to yourself before you read them out loud. How about that?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, let me just go through them one time really quick to make sure.
Some of them are just, crazy, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Opening up the Kegheim beard salon. And
Okay. 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 Oh my god.
And you wanted to read those out loud.
I do
Are they
wanna read them
naughty
out.
things?
No, they're funny actually.
No, you can read them out loud. I really
I
don't care
will,
if you're okay with this stuff so far, then you'll probably be okay with all of it.
Yeah, I think most of it I'm okay with. Let me just read the last few here. Okay, the feet one I have to figure out the specifics on.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's 100%. Like I just now edited that one and thought of it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me ask from a RP perspective. So most of those are, I see the research part. A lot of it is Kegheim. Is there anything else you want to do from a Hatland perspective right now? Outside of Kegheim?
I don't really think so. I think that a lot of the stuff that even is, Hadeland specific would either even be something to do with Kegheim at this point, I guess. So I don't really know that outside of Kegheim what goals really Hadeland would have other than the ones that are kind of like establishing ties and stuff like that.
Okay.
Try and at least magically speak with Balin during the time.
Okay.
That would be something that would be really important to Hadeland for sure. I think with Eleone and draw them, and everybody else, all of us should be able to figure out a way to get a message to him if we had to at this point. So I think I would probably make that a priority.
Okay. Whenever you need to send, you are able. He's on a different plane, but he's able to receive messages still. He doesn't respond with lots of information, though. You notice that his responses tend to. How do I say this? He seems perpetually in stress. How about that? That's the way I'll put it. So
Makes sense.
the responses you get tend to just acknowledge he is okay, but doesn't really say much more. He seems close-lipped for a reason, but the reason you are unsure about. That makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense, especially knowing where he is.
Mm-hmm. So yes, so you are able to make contact with him. So as for your first part, where
And I think I have a way that I would want to use the forge to induce that in long hours of trying to do some type of task, like of forging like an item or something, or even just working on metal, just some type of exhaustion task on the forge.
okay,
Keyed
You
with
can-
something else.
okay, so you try to figure out, you try to relate different things with a golem, the anvil, your hammer, everything down here, plus the incident where your axe spoke to you briefly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And each time that you work on the anvil, the book seems to reveal a little bit more. As a reward, it seems almost as a reward of you trying to advance your skills and learn more. Over time, you reveal enough in the book that you've come to learn that the dwarves that were here had tried to include sentience in the items that they had created. But it went horribly wrong because they introduced sentience into items before they were fully in control of said sentience.
Okay.
So they created some, it's hard to pinpoint the number through what you were able to read, but it seems like at least 2, they were able to create sentient weapons and 2 like sentient defensive things, armor and a shield. And they seem to have a mind of their own that went haywire, basically. One of them was listed as an axe. That was also said to have the properties of bludgeoning.
That's you.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say to that. Just, that's you. Oh my god.
Obviously, I'm talking to my
Yes,
axe.
I know. I'm aware.
Reed just stands in the corner like, I'm what?
Roll. Okay, you can do it. Yeah, I think it'll be easiest if you just roll them. Roll 5 persuasion checks for me.
Wait, Greg, are they on like on the same day? One
This is
each
going to
day?
cover kind of the year.
Okay.
A lot of persuading for someone who just doesn't
Yeah.
have that kind
Yeah,
of.
I'm worried here.
I got
This
faith
is
in you.
part of the reason why dwarves have had an issue with this.
Oh, screw it. Do I get to use any more of my indomitables during this time?
Mm-mm.
Can I assist him?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, oh man. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Not bad on the last 2. So at first, after learning about this, you just begin talking to Bright Axe randomly. And the rest of you see this. Don't fully understand it, but you just
I
begin.
know what I do on the last 2 rolls that at least changes one of them. I'm gonna say this when you get
Okay, go for it.
I take like a good glass of dwarven spirits and I pour it on Bright Axe, and then I talk to him.
Okay.
Wow. Trying to get your axe drunk before.
I'm going with it.
Mm-hmm. So, being that it's a dwarven made axe, you believe that the ale may help.
Yep,
So
that's the king's bright idea.
As you pour ale on the axe, you notice that there's some dwarven markings where the ale kind of sits for a little bit. And you begin talking to it. And the first time, it doesn't talk to you, but in your head, you begin to hear it kind of hum a jaunty dwarven tune.
Jaunty.
Mm-hmm. The second time, you proceed to do the same thing, and it seems to be kind of muttering some stuff in Dwarven, but you begin to hear it in your head.
I'm trying to remember the tune so I can write it down if I can.
If you get words. Right now, you're not getting any words.
All right. I'm definitely can't write music. I don't think Catalan could do that, but
Yes.
I'm at least gonna try and like tap the like the beat or whatever that he's saying, the cadence on the ground. Like I think I could remember that, so I'll try and remember at least like that.
Okay.
Like yeah, I get at least like the drum beat part of it.
Okay. But
Bright Axe sings exactly like that.
at the current time, yes. That's all he hears in his head.
It's amazing.
So you do begin to hear your axe speaking to you in your head.
Freaking weird.
yeah.
Weird, I say.
Mm-hmm. The next part. So when you guys got the dwarves out of the cave, you had found that one kind of lock that you were unable to open, and no one really wanted to attempt because it was highly arcane locked, if you remember. You haven't unfortunately made much progress on that one. There is a fear of triggering it, causing catastrophe, so leaving it alone right now while investigating from a distance seems like the best, and there is an unknown trigger to open it, otherwise it requires some very high level magic. So
Hadn't we recruited somebody at the Cobalt Soul to help with that?
to research. So he's continued. It was Ellie's kind of new friend.
Oh yeah, no, Ellie's enslaved
Yeah.
adjunct or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, my grad student slave, basically.
That's right.
Mhm.
It's a
You were able to
grad
threaten his
student.
career.
Yeah. But still no
Ben or something, right?
It's just research at the moment. Still hasn't really come across it yet, but he's definitely finding it intriguing to research.
And I'm not saying I want a big party on the 1-year anniversary of my like
Ascension.
ascension to Kegheim, but it
Mm.
might be a good idea. Wink, wink.
Starting about 3 months before the 1-year anniversary, Reed will begin planning
Okay.
a festival.
Oh my god.
He will actually reach out. There was the cello player or something that you'd been hitting on
Oh my god.
that one night in the bar.
Cello player.
I will reach out and see if I can have her put together a string quartet of equally voluptuous female musicians of her caliber. And I will also do a little research to see if I can find if there was some sort of ancient, like, national anthem or something of Kegheim.
Okay.
If not, I will.
Yeah, I'm working on that now. Bright X is actually.
I will have her compose something for Piccolo that would be an appropriate, jaunty dwarven song for you.
Oh my god. So I think the 1-year anniversary would happen during this 1 year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right at
Unless
the very,
it's-
very end. Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Unless
week
it's next
before.
week.
I'm kind of wondering if we should start next session at the 1-year anniversary.
I
Yeah,
think
definitely
we
when
should.
everybody's here. I agree. Yeah. Because then I can do one of my things there too, like the one, the
Yeah,
thing that I start
know.
off.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that there.
Okay.
And then
So-
we can give presents to Hadelin too.
Yep. I graciously accept presents. Not even gonna try and fight that one.
Interesting. Okay. We will start next session at the 1-year anniversary of Kegheim. One-year anniversary party of Kegheim. Okay. That's a different way to start it than I was anticipating, but it actually weirdly fits. Okay. All right. The Kegheim also has a adventurers group that has been going around and completing some of the bounties at local cities and stuff and helping to fund a lot of the stuff you guys are doing in Kegheim.
So they're actually doing stuff. They're not just LARPing.
Correct.
It's not a
Yep.
LARP group.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they got the best trainers there are. Us.
And what percentage does the crown get of the reward?
The crown gets 75%. They keep 25 for themselves, but the 75 gets distributed kind of back to them through city build and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and we outfit them and stuff like that
Mhm.
in the hopes of creating our own adventurers guild.
We get first dibs on any sort of magic items they bring back, I'm assuming.
Correct.
No, we're not doing that. Who would Adventure Force then? They get first dibs.
Well, no, they bring it back to you, and as long as it's not something crazy high, you usually give it back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
must
mean, if they
report
come
it to
wandering,
you first before laying claim, is basically what it is.
yeah,
There's
they
a-
come back
if
with the
they're- yeah.
bottomless canteen of Johnny Black. Yeah, we're keeping that. Like,
There's a bard sorcerer that comes back with an evil book. No, he can't keep that.
get back on your flying broom.
Hey, it worked out for the best in the end, but still. I got all kinds of cool spells at the end of that. Okay, so they've been helping with getting kind of money funneled to Kegheim. being that they're doing these things with the Kegheim crest, they're also getting more notoriety. So
That's the name of that group, the Kegheim Crest.
you can name it whatever you want.
That's kind of a cool name.
I mean, you can call them the Kegheim Crest. That's the Adventurers Guild.
King of the Kingdom. What do you think of that name for them?
Yeah, I mean, we can just, yeah, I mean, that we can, they can at least be known as that for sure by us, whether or not, you know, they can have multiple names if they choose, but yeah.
So what is their name now?
Kegheim Crest.
Kegheim Crest, okay. So they also become more well known. They're also given first dibs. So part of why they continue to work under the Kegheim name is because they get first dibs on some of the more expensive stuff because of their, basically their notoriety. You've had now created a fairly reliable adventurers guild that's able to cash in on these bounties. So Kegheim Crest is now kind of bringing in money into the city, which goes back into building a lot of the stuff and that you guys are working on. So the next one we discussed. Oh my god, the next one. I'll just say yes, and you can describe the details for that, Corinth. However you want that to be, I am okay with that.
Okay. So we'll say,
I want your imagination to have fun with this one.
Scary.
about halfway through the year, you get a note with a official seal with the they're also a member of another group, so we'll just say an official seal that you recognize.
One? Hold on, you're talking about the Whitestone one, right? Just making sure.
The ale one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
They're okay.
I want to make sure we're in the same order. That one you have fun with.
Okay. Yeah. so yeah, and with an official seal that you recognize. I don't want to say exactly. I don't know exactly what it would be, but I'll just go with that.
Okay, I'll open it. Is it addressed to me or to you?
Well, it's addressed to you and to the king of and to the king of Kegheim. So kind of both of us, basically.
I'll check it for traps.
Okay.
Suspicious nature. I'm not used to getting mail.
It's not Kegelheim, Durgan.
So it's 24 on my checking for traps.
It's not trapped.
Yeah,
okay, I will open it gingerly. It's an exploding letter.
So it is addressed to Reed and Hadelin and to the and to Kegheim as a whole. We are pleased to request to visit Kegheim. We have a gift for the king, and it is signed Strong Jaw Ale Company.
I will immediately bring it to your attention.
This is why I wanted you to have fun with this, Corinth. This is like a Hadlin fantasy I want come to life.
I'm pretty busy, Reed. What's going on?
Well, we have a request to arrive and deliver a gift to you.
I mean, I already admitted I can't turn away gifts. I'm not even going to try. Of course, I'll receive gifts at any time.
All right. This may be one that you might be slightly more excited about.
Okay, I'm not busy anymore. I'm paying attention.
Oh, good. I know that you're a fan of ale.
One would say.
And I know that you've heard of the Strong Jaw Ale Breweries Incorporation.
Okay, you're just teasing me now. I don't even know what's going on here. Yes, yeah.
They want to give you a gift.
So you already responded and said they could come. You didn't even bother showing it to me first, right?
Well, yeah, the letter's already off to them. I actually
All right.
sent it with 2 bodyguards to make sure it got there.
Out. I mean, I drink a lot of their ale wherever we go when places have it, and I may send them notes about my thoughts on each different vintage and what the
Yes,
notes are. And
I've seen some of the letters. Yes.
I mean, it was kind of one of my presentations, and the Cobalt Soul.
I remember hearing rumors that your doctoral thesis was on it. Yes.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll admit my heart.
You made me drop cheese balls, Johnny.
I'll admit the king's heart's beating a little faster now. I'm a little bit excited.
Well, I was also thinking that as long as they're coming here to give a gift, that perhaps we could also give them a gift, where I think that one of the nicer things that we'd be able to do with some of the buildings that we're still rebuilding, we could find one that perhaps would be a nice location for them to possibly open up a satellite brewery. You figure by the time we have that up and running, we'd also be hopefully at that time be getting in a good supply of barley, hops and such from the farm. So they could very easily go and open up a satellite brewery here where they would have local crops and granaries to add into it. So to add like a Wildemount brew.
Yep. I like it. I like all of it. Maybe we can get,
Well, that's
cook.
very exciting.
get our cook to whip up some food and stuff for them and everything, And I know we wanted to open that big inn tavern. I don't know if we've gotten to that yet, but we definitely wanted, and we were interviewing for that super cool innkeeper. So I think that we're still got the stuff out looking for him. Maybe we can find someone or have them help us find someone with experience. They have contacts to every inn throughout the land.
And it would allow them an opportunity to start to franchise here and easier distribution to this continent for them. So,
were we going to invite Blint to be the innkeeper?
not if we want people.
Yeah, he can have like a hot dog stand out front.
Maybe I was thinking one of those like
No,
with
he
the
can be,
strap
he can
on.
be the
and-
chef. He can be the chef there, at least. Yeah, one of the chefs.
I had already sort of set up a small location for him to prove himself. They also may, still request his presence at the, Temple of the Raven Queen, where he's like the number 2 person.
That's true.
The assistant pope of a religion normally
Yeah, short notice.
has to do popey things.
Sucky Donner.
Was Drum setting up a Raven Queen thing here?
Yes.
He was setting up a temple, I believe.
Yes, he was.
All right, so I've already given the word for slight redesign of one of the larger storage facilities to start having some of our craftsmen preparing larger copper kettles and piping and everything you would need for a brewery that we'll be able to offer to them.
Okay. So a couple weeks go by, and during that time you get notice that on a day, basically 2 weeks from when you got sent the original letter, they will be dropping by Kegheim with the gift. And you guys make all your preparations for their arrival, and that day finally comes. And at the gate of Kegheim, you hear thunk, thunk, thunk. And you're expecting them. Do any of you decide to greet them, or do you let kind of normal process of Kegheim happen?
I'd make sure if I know the date and approximate time, I would be near the gate so that as I would hear the knock, I would certainly be there to make sure they're ushered in correctly.
Okay. So you know kind of the general time and everything that they would be
I just have to
showing up.
laugh because ushered in correctly versus ushered incorrectly.
Oh my god.
just funny.
Either one could apply. We are in an entire city of dwarves.
So you open the gate and you see several people adorned in garments that clearly identify them as part of the Stone Ale Jaw group. And the man in the front goes, "Hello, I represent the Stonejaw Ale, and you." He looks at you, kind of looking down as he's a human, about 6 feet. Looks down. "You must be Reed Tea Leaf, Hand of the King. Am I correct?"
Yes, it's very nice to meet you.
"Very nice
I hope
to
the
meet
trip
you."
was good.
"Oh yes, yes. My name is Durgan Double." I'm just gonna have...
Yay, turkey!
"And I am here to get you all drunk." And behind him, I don't know why I had this thought. You see what appears to be a horse made of barrels. So there's a giant barrel set up to look like the head, another barrel set up to be, and it's just crafted to look like a giant horse.
It's the Trojan horse.
Check those barrels for enemies, please.
Alan, I
do
think
that.
you'll have to drink the contents of each and every one of them to make sure we're safe.
Right
I
now
will,
it's just you at the entrance.
Yeah.
I will escort him to the palace.
Okay. You look at the barrels, by the way. Each of the barrels has something written in Dwarven. Okay?
I read Dwarvish. What do they say?
Yes. So the head on the side of it says Ale of the Hand. The neck has one that says Longbeard Grog. The front leg on the right side that you see says Hadlin Bright Stout. And you see those three kind of on different barrels, except in the rear. And the rear part does not have any label. And when
That
you
sounds dangerous.
invite them in, Durgan snaps his fingers and just looks back at everyone. "Come on, everybody, we must escort these things in. Hush, 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 come on." And the other 5-6 people slowly start to dismantle the horse and grab one barrel of ale and kind of lifting it because it's heavy, bring it in.
But I do at least get to see the horse before it's dismantled, right?
Do you come out to the gate?
Yeah.
I want to come to the gate and I want to ask Durgan a question.
Oh, no.
Yes. Hello there, young lady.
Say, sir, Mr. Double,
Mm-hmm.
what's in the rear end over there?
Oh, you'll see soon enough. I'm sure you have some experience with that. Wink, wink.
I don't actually say anything yet until they, reintroduces me. But I just wanted to say that I saw it.
Oh,
when it
if
was
you
in.
come out there, he automatically acknowledges you. He'll actually bow to you. You go, "Oh, it is none other than King Hadlin. Hello there, good sir. We have gotten all of your letters."
Wow.
Your endless amount of fan mail and fan suggestions.
It is true.
Customer
And-
reviews.
And these ales we have brought you as a gift are all ales created as part of your recommendations. Please try them. See what you think.
Oh my. This is fabulous.
So all these people bring in a barrel, and you see the same thing. You see some of the barrels listed as Ale of the Hand. You see another one called Longbeard Grog, and another one called Hadlin Bright Stout. And these are our new flavors. Please try them. Enjoy. Let us know what you think.
First
And-
file, which is the warlocks. Get a flight together. Everyone starts getting stuff ready like quick as you could be. Dwarven flight time.
And there are
So
flights.
is for dwarven flight just all the barrels lined up? It's not, they're not bother putting them in a, like a beer
Dwarven
stein
flight,
or anything,
yeah.
right?
It's definitely not the K-Heim Air Force.
It's like entire like beer steins for everybody
you
for
go.
the flight. So all the dwarves have like 3 beer steins. You see some of the others just like having that put in front of them, but like some of the humans and elves that you recruited both by Reed and by Hadlin, they seem very confused by all of this, but the dwarves seem very excited.
Brightaxe
Drum.
gets
The
Brightaxe
dwarves and Drum
Brightaxe
seem very excited.
Brightaxe gets his own like shots of each one too. You guys
Aw.
do start to notice that I give my axe like his own drinks and food now,
Mhm.
even though he may not drink them or eat them, but he gets
And
them.
I'm gonna look at Reed and say, we got to get him a queen before that axe becomes,
How do you know it isn't already?
Oh my god. And you begin tasting all of these. Hadlin, you do find that each of these, like the ale, has been modified to not all, but many of the suggestions you have provided. Same thing with the grog and same thing with the stout.
This is incredible. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't know if it's up there in my top 5 moments, like King number 1, 2, when my beard got 6 inches, 3. This is up there at least,
Are these
really making the
are
whole
these worthy
quest
for
worth
you,
it.
King? Durgan looks at you, Hadlin. Are these worthy for you, King?
More than it's incredible, and in fact I think I have an idea that there's a special spirit here within Kegheim that very few have seen. I think that I should make an official drink with that combined with perhaps the Longbeard ale. That would make a good one, and make it the official drink of Kegheim.
Ooh.
So let it be written.
Is this something I would be able to try? I'm very curious about this ale that you mentioned.
Your trip home may not be that, hangover free, but yeah, that's kind of the intent. Only when people come to Kegheim can they try this, and in the presence of the king, however.
Ooh, we're gonna get Durgan drunk.
Eggheim mountain bombs.
Something like that. Yeah, mountain bomb. Sounds better than the name I was thinking. There you go. Wagon bomb, mountain bomb, something like that. But yeah, so I set something up like that, and I do like a the whole shot, and then drop it in a mug of the beer, and there you go.
Okay. So Durgan grabs it and proceeds to straight up chug it.
Okay, he's a drum, isn't he? Maybe you guys are related.
And he puts down the stein, wipes the foam off his mouth. That was delicious. That is quite the combination. And he doesn't seem phased at all. Weirdly enough, he doesn't seem phased.
I will order a few chairs brought in, along with a couple of shrubberies to be put around the chair reserved for Mr. Double.
Ooh, a chair. Thank you. And he just
Ooh,
sits
strawberry.
down.
Thank you.
I have to say, this is quite a combination. He doesn't seem to lose control, but he does start to speak a little bit faster. So he's not like drunk, but he's getting there slowly.
Yeah, I mean, if you make this stuff, you gotta have a pretty good,
Mhm.
tolerance.
That's basically what you figured. Like, he's pretty used to all kinds of it. But the fact that you actually got him a little bit drunk even this much seems pretty impressive. Like, Durgan has a history of being able to tolerate this kind of stuff. So, how do you propose we sell this then? If you'd like to use the Longbeard grog and make a Kegheim mountain bomb, I think it is a wonderful idea.
Well, that actually comes to one of the ideas that the king here had. We've begun setting up a facility where we figured you may want to begin a brewery here as well to have a satellite location, make your distribution to the rest of the continent far easier.
That is a wonderful idea, even better than the one I had. And Durgan goes to what is now just the rear of the horse, sticks his hand in where just below the tail, proceeds.
He sticks his hand in the bunghole.
Pretty much, yes. And then proceeds to pull out pipe after pipe after pipe after pipe. And he's like, we are ready to build a distillery here. That is what we were hoping for.
Oh, that's super cool. We're ready to help you build it. That's that. Yep.
Would you allow visitors from outside?
Yeah, that's the whole point of Kegheim.
Should we create a separate entrance from the main gate then, where we just sell?
I don't know about that.
How would you like
something
to
with
sell?
like a tabletop where your wagon could pull right up to it, and you can order and pick up your supply right there in
Yes,
your
a
wagon.
carriage through. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Kegheim has regular visitors, and the gates open during whatever normal gate times are. I'm the king. I don't keep track of these things, but yeah,
no blue laws here. Yeah, it's
Very well. I think this could be the beginning of a great partnership. And Durgan sticks out his hand, cleans it a little bit first, and then gives you his hand.
Wait, how does
Woody?
he clean it?
He just wipes
Woody?
it on his shirt.
Woody.
This hand had just been inside of the bunghole of a wooden horse. So shake your hands as you
Pulling
will.
out pipes.
Pulling out pipe. after pipe.
Lots of pipes.
And he sticks out his hand to shake your hand.
I shake it right away.
There you go.
Welcome to Kegheim.
Thank you very much, King. This is much appreciated. And then he snaps his fingers and looks back at like the 6 people that were helping with the barrels. Time to build the distillery. And he looks at you. Where should we set up?
I already have the facility ready for you.
Perfect. And as you lead the way, they all start to follow with like hands full of just like pipes and different things in order to start building
All
the
of
distillery.
Durgan's men with their pipes in their hands.
Yep. Durgan is correct. Double Durgan. Durgan double is beginning to lay pipe. It's true.
Oh, he's laid it, pulled it up, pulled it out,
Washed it off.
wiped it on his shirt.
Oh my gosh. So yes. So at this point you have begin, and by the end of this time you will have a full working Stonejaw Ale distillery, primarily producing the Longbeard grog, but does produce Hand of the Ale and Hadlin Bright Stout inside of Kegheim, with the very exclusive Kegheim Mountain Bomb as the special drink.
Very nice.
We can start to set up little sort of beer gardens around it, and immediately pass a law that there can't be any like real like cheapy little like item shops around it. Nothing but high end.
Drunken spending on things.
Yes.
Kegheim is turning into Vegas. Oh my
No
god.
Dollar Generals, nothing but high end.
Oh my god. Okay. Then so that gets that one done. So now we have your official ale of Kegheim. And then okay. So for your feet, Your
my
main thing is to get that general purpose done, right?
yeah, no, you had told me that my half feat was going to be like a leadership variant.
Yeah.
That's what I just don't know how to add a half feat to the
No.
character
I'll
sheet.
add that because I have to create a custom feat.
Okay,
So,
okay, yeah. Yeah, that I was because with me taking level 14 in fighter, I get another feat on top of that.
I got you. Okay, so you are taking the half feat, like so you want that like leadership ish.
Oh yeah, I love that. I think that's super cool. Yeah.
Okay, so I will build that out, and then I'll give you all the details on that. So let me make a note. I have my like special D&D journal now to make note of all this stuff. So
How's that feat gonna work?
I'll give Hadlin the details, but it'll affect Kegheim, and then it'll also have some out of Kegheim kind of combat abilities he'll be able to use as part of his leadership stuff.
Very cool.
Okay. All right. I think that gets everyone through their year then, right? And then yes, there is a tavern that is built and you can name it whatever you would like. I will leave the naming of that to you.
Yeah. And we have interviews for like a super cool, bartender that can tell stories and stuff like that.
Okay.
Do dances while he flips the drinks around.
Yeah, he's from a faraway place, or she doesn't know,
Both.
Right.
We'll have one of each.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
What other like sort of stores and stuff have we been able to get up and running, do you think?
So the only things you guys told me, so we have the Cobalt Soul satellite office, we have the Raven Queen. I think we have a research center that Dwayne was working on. Kind of like and then you have the magic shop that Apumat is on. There's kind of a training center for, and I have to write down the name to remember it, but your group read. And then like another barracks for just general militia. Plus you'll have things like a blacksmith, kind of the general trade skills you'll have around.
I'd probably want to make like a special barracks or whatever would be the equivalent of one for the first file warlocks.
You want a special barracks for them, or you want them in kind of
Yeah,
the general
like,
barracks?
dude, yeah, they helped me like land Kegheim, so maybe it's some like their own, like they can build their own thing. Like
Okay.
I give them I give them their own like free
Yeah.
reign to carry their own warlock center or whatever you want to call it, something like that.
Yeah, we can
So
do
like
that.
they can recruit into this special group that kind of guards the king and does special tasks that are for the crown and that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, we can have a different place for the warlocks. They're like the equivalent of your like secret service, so they can have their own like separate barracks, and then you have the regular barracks, and yeah. And then of
all right,
course
so,
like little trades, like little markets and stuff like that.
So it was Cobalt Soul, the Apumat store, the Raven Queen Temple, the research area that was Dwayne's. Ellie, didn't you have?
Hers was the Cobalt Soul.
Okay, hers was the Cobalt Soul. So it's Ellie.
Like an office for the crest. I think that's what that group or the Adventurers Guild
Yeah.
group.
Yeah, the Adventurers Guild.
Because of eventually, obviously it'll take years, but eventually we hopefully we'll get more groups.
Our drive-in brewery.
Yeah. You'll have the distillery and the actual like tavern. Then you'll have the generic barracks. You'll have the warlock barracks. And you'll have like a shop for each of the trade skills that you're able to recruit. There'll be like blacksmithing and mining, and I have to go through to figure out all of them. But you'll even get like tailoring and some stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'd almost like to set up like
You'll have a metallurgy.
like an apprentice program to make sure that we have a constant flow of
Yeah.
apprentices.
You'll be able to have recruited like one master with the group that you were able to, and then somebody to like train under them. So most of these will have like 2 people in there. And then like just general markets for odds and ends, food, stuff like that.
Every Sunday we'll set up a little farmers market, sort of
Yeah.
in town square.
Because dwarves love farmers markets.
Well, you know,
But Hadlin is an all-inclusive king, so
there's plenty of food and beer.
the majority of the population is still dwarven, but there are humans and elves kind of included in this as well.
Nice.
And I'll say, and gnomes and halflings, kind of the general populace. You have a little bit of everything, but still majority dwarf. Let me see. Or anything else then? I want to make sure I have the year for you guys. So I have notes. So I'll read the pricing on all the permanency stuff, and then we'll figure out everything for the longbow. I think the rest of your stuff is covered now.
Yep.
Ellie, I'll finish off your mom's spell book and then give you the details of the spells you were able to find in there, and then you can continue to work on unlocking other dances and stuff. I will tell you right now, you feel like you're getting close to a second dance unlock as you're kind of reading through the book.
Okay.
And then Hadlin, I'll give you the details on your leadership feat. And then for all of you, I have to create the feats and some of the items and stuff, I think, in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I need to make sure everything's good on my sheet.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any questions about leveling? I think while we're all here.
Well, I got my sheet to say level 14.
Okay.
It looks like I need to pick another spell.
Okay, we can go over spells.
Did Dwayne level up his? Let me see what Dwayne is. Dwayne is...
Yeah, I need one more prepared spell.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I haven't picked my spell yet, so.
I remember we were gonna get something, but I think
Yeah, Dwayne
we
got level
swapped it
14.
already.
And he... Let me see. Oh, he got the mansion. So
Because
Dwayne
the
has...
mansion is not ritual. That's the important thing about that.
Correct. It is not ritual, but it's also not really like dispellable.
I think you'd have to really upcast in order to do it. Like I think you'd have to dispel it at like at least the same level, which is like
I don't
a
even
7th
think you
level
can
spell.
dispel this because it's like an extra dimensional. Because the mansion is inside of another dimension.
Yeah, it's pocket dimension.
I have to let me read it. I don't know if there's actually.
I thought you could, but I thought that it took like a 7th or higher level spell for some reason.
You would also have to find the item, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think anti-magic like field, if you get it near the item that it's in, then everybody pops out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to find it though, because you carve so one of the components is a mini portal, and that's the portal that people will use to go in. So it becomes difficult because the mini portal kind of expands when you actually do it. So.
Yeah. All right, Ouchie, you get 2 spells. So what was the first one you took?
I didn't take any.
Okay, so you get 2 spells you can pick. Let's start looking at 7th level spells.
That's, yeah, and up to 7, is that what you can take now? So that I need to be 7th?
Yeah,
Sweet.
might as well go big.
Yeah.
The 7th level has Simulacrum, which is an amazing spell for you to take and work on over the 1 year.
Where
'Cause-
is add spells? There we go.
Because
And
in
then-
theory, you could take Simulacrum, and then next session you could have your own version of the Ellie Rockettes.
Yeah. That's true. There's also if you want to get it based on what you guys were discussing earlier, you could take teleport,
Yeah,
and that'll read the access until the teleportation circle is completed. And teleport's useful too.
trying to think of something. Finger of Death is always a good spell.
I already have that.
You do?
Mhm.
How many 7th level spells could you take?
Crown of Stars is good.
Right now, for whatever reason, I have
Oh, yeah, there I see it on your sheet. Yeah.
2.
Reverse Gravity is always a cool spell.
So do I get? Wait, I have 2 that I've learned.
Yeah, I think you actually got 7th level spells last level.
Yeah, so you should be able to take 2 fresh ones.
Hmm.
Like I said, Simulacrum.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
that
do
one-
Simulacrum is
teleport
pretty
because that
incredible.
makes sense. I'll take teleport.
Yeah, Simulacrum was the spell you were thinking about. Did we change it already, Ouchie?
Was it? Oh yeah. We didn't change it. I didn't take that one yet. So
I would take that.
okay. Well, I'll do that one and teleport.
Perfect.
Those are good ones.
Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
those
are
are
very
those
good
are-
spells.
And I
Yeah.
just have to pick one to prepare because I only have 18 out of 19 prepared.
Well, the advantage with Simulacrum is that you don't necessarily have to keep it as a prepared spell.
And obviously she wouldn't be picking these spells if they're not in her mom's spell book.
Correct. If they are, then we can change stuff out. I'll deal with that after.
And then the big question is, how many hundreds of pounds of snow do I have to send people up onto the mountain to pull down for you?
Or she could just go up there and do it.
Either or.
So, okay. So it sounds like you have your spells. Yeah.
If I have teleport now, would I get rid of Dimension Door?
No.
No, yeah. No,
Okay.
Dimension Door is still a really good spell.
It's a lower level spell too, so Dimension Door is useful like short range if you're just trying to get out of like a quick situation but stay nearby. Teleport is a much broader range.
Yeah.
So it's literally getting from like Kegheim to Reed's Farm type thing. So
Not only that, eventually it looks more and more like you're going to have to make sure you keep spells for each level. That's some of the new rules they started teasing.
Maybe I'll get rid of Elemental Bane.
and stuff.
Oh yeah, I think you'd be crazy not to, but it's an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think I should take for Hadelin's 3rd level spell?
It's 3rd level wizard spells, right?
Yeah, pretty much most wizard spells, not all of them. Like I'm thinking Thunderstep or maybe protection from energy. I don't know. Phantom Steed, some cool like Dwarven Mount might be cool too. I don't really think I need like Lightning Bolt or Fireball as Hadelin, although it would always be cool. Got so many hit points that maybe Life Transference wouldn't be bad.
I'm not a fan of that.
And I don't really need it.
You could haste yourself.
Yeah, I don't. No, I have haste already.
Oh, you already have haste. Okay.
Yeah. I have haste and Spirit Shroud are the 2 3rd level spells I do have.
You could be super annoying and take counterspell.
I could take Dispel Magic or Counterspell, but I just don't know. It doesn't really seem very Hadalinish, really.
What about fly?
And that might be cool. I don't know. I always
Intellect Fortress wouldn't be a bad one.
yeah, that's true because that's what Critty used to always cast on me, and I don't have that anymore.
Yeah. Slow is another good option for you.
And the reason I like Thunderstep is because it's a free teleport. That does damage too. Because I don't really have any way, unless I take Fly, to move Hadalin quickly through the battlefield on my own.
Well, Phantom Steed.
I thought dwarves didn't like riding horses.
That's
I can-
boats.
I can make it like a rhinoceros or a hippopotamus or who knows.
Another dwarf.
Riding another dwarf, and then have a trench coat over
It'd be
it.
like a chicken fight. I'm just trying to see if Phantom Steed gives you any kind of
Nah, it's not
real
worth
other
it.
advantages.
My spells I get so few spells that I gotta have like ultra, like sending would be really cool for Hadalin to have, but it's not worth for me to take on such a small amount of spells that I can have.
Well, not only that, I mean, we also have 2 wizards in the group, so.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking, because Teal's character can always cast Fly on me also if I ever want to fly. So that doesn't seem like and I've seen him cast Slow before. So I don't know. I don't have to pick it now either, so I just thought it'd be cool to discuss for a minute.
Trying to see if I have this book,
Dwayne
Fizban's Treasury of
doesn't have
Dragons.
slow.
Oh, doesn't have Slow.
Slow could be a very good.
Yeah,
Spell
on his
for ya.
list, I'm just seeing haste.
Because with slow, you'd be able to debuff a ton of bad guys at once and wail on them.
The only bad thing is I'm always almost always gonna have Spirit Shroud on myself. That's why haste is kind of been sort of useless for me.
Because that's also going to eat up your concentration, so you wouldn't even be able to do them both.
Exactly. I think I'm just gonna take Thunderstep, unless
Well,
I
I'm
get.
just trying to look this up because I don't have it where I can look it up in D&D Beyond because it's at a Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. So I got to pull the physical book to see if I can find this spell.
What do you do for your bonus action right now?
Booming Blade.
What about Melf's minute meteors?
It might not be bad too, because I pick something else that I could do with my bonus action that would be more powerful.
Spells, page 19.
You literally put like a mini fireball in different places on your bonus action.
All right, let's see what this spell does. All right. Ashladron Stride, 3rd level transmutation wizard spell.
Yeah,
Casting
but that's
time.
in Fizban's. I don't know if we've unlocked that one.
I don't know if we did or not, but that's
Yeah.
why I had to pull the book to actually look it up.
Yeah.
But it's a concentration up to 1 minute. It's a bonus action. Billowing flames of the dragon blast from your feet, granting you explosive speed. For the duration, your speed increases by 20 feet, and moving doesn't provide opportunity attacks. When you move within 5 feet of a creature or object that isn't being worn or carried, it takes 1d6 fire damage from your trail of heat. The creature or object can take this damage only once during a turn. So you can't like run circles around somebody like you're the Flash. And you can upcast it. But basically, they add 20 feet to your speed. You don't get opportunity attacks against you if you use it. And you cause damage to everybody you run past.
Oh my goodness.
That could actually be ridiculous on Hadlet.
Yeah, it would be funny, but yeah, it might be too complicated for me too. But yeah, no, we'll pick out something eventually.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Nah, that's not a good one. When what level is compelled duel?
Not sure which level it is.
Second level, but it's a cleric paladin spell.
Oh, you could always ask the DM if you could take that as a spell.
Yeah. I mean, I have a convenient way that I may have figured out how to get that on my character sheet, but it depends on if Finn approves the feat I want.
Wait, the one that you mentioned or a different one?
The one that's in my DM, yeah.
So the feat itself we can modify, and I think you'll be fine with it. It's just the purpose is what I'm trying to figure out.
The reason
That you want it.
it's supposed to be like a reflection of what Kegheim's becoming.
No, I understand. I'm just trying to figure out how to logically introduce it that way. If that makes sense. Like how you just come across it or how it eventually gets to you. Because that's a really important thing to get.
Oh yeah, I agree. That's why I was thinking if you actually approved what happens in that scenario and it successfully takes place, that's the event that grants that feat.
Gotcha.
That's what I was going for. So it's almost like a ceremony that happens that they do, and then that's how I would get that feat. If that doesn't happen, I wouldn't take that feat.
Understood.
basically.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, because that would work out really cool for next week too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just need to go through the details of that one. That is why I wanted this as a separate session, because I need to figure out exactly where everyone's character is.
Yeah.
Because a year is a long time for things to happen.
Well, now everybody's just going to be drunk, so there's not really going to be much else happening.
I mean, that's still perfectly fine.
So which spell you think you're going to take then?
Probably, I mean, just for right now, I just marked Thunderstep, but if I don't use it, before the next couple sessions, I'll try and think of something else that might fit like an event and take that and use like role play to pick the spell instead, kind of thing. I kind of want something that's not concentration, basically, because I got two.
Which is tough, yeah.
So it's kind of like lightning bolt or Thunderstep, basically.
Yeah,
I do like a good Thunderstep.
And Hadlin is not subtle, so it does work for his movements.
Thunderstep would be a really cool thing to do with the axe and the little.
Yeah, it does seem very thematic.
You take Tiny Servant.
I actually thought about that. Having a mini Haviland running around, but I already got Bright Axe, so.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm trying to look at third level non-concentration wizard spells. Eh,
Well, at least for the purposes of the stream, I think we've covered everything. We'll have a few details. I'll hang around in Zoom, and we can get the little details covered. But yeah, I think otherwise we'll go ahead and end the stream here. Next week, we will begin with the 1-year anniversary of Kegheim crowning its new king. And we will begin with a party,
Party.
which should be very interesting on how this goes.
very.
It's going to be a new situation altogether to plan. So,
Sorry,
Alright.
Finn.
oh no, I love having these
Not
kind of things.
sorry. Not
It-
sorry, Finn.
No, don't be. It actually, I was trying to figure out the best way to introduce how I wanted like the next part of the plot to happen, and weirdly enough, this actually happens perfect. You guys actually set this up perfectly without even with an idea I wasn't even thinking about. So it works well. Sometimes things just work out. So with that, any last words from you, Mr. Corinth?
I'm excited to have all the ales. Hedlund's super excited. That's right.
They're Kegheim exclusive ales. Johnny, any last words?
This was fun. I'm so happy we're playing again.
Me too. Man, I miss D&D so much.
Oh man.
And then, Ouchie.
I thought of something else I want to work on there in Kegheim, and that's the local Alcoholics Anonymous chapter. Yeah, we're gonna need it.
It'll be right next door to the Raven Queen Temple.
Oh, we'll hold the meetings in the tavern.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. All right. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday for Monday Marbles. Everyone, take care.
Balls.
Bye.
Bye.